it's Ellie Diecast, and we're back for another video. Video's been a little inconsistent lately. Sorry about that. We're working on the converting the website from basically Facebook based, where our store was, and we're moving it over to a web page. And so that's where most of my time's been going. But I got a little bit of chance here, and I thought we'd take a look at the Zender Fact 4. This car has shown up in videos for, ever since we've been doing this show. It's these Fact 4s have shown up. Originally, I thought it was a made-up car, especially with a name like Fact 4. In fact, it was the name that caused me to kind of go research this car, because it was such a strange name. I thought maybe there was some sort of inside joke or something on Hot Wheels with it. Turns out it's a real car. Zender is a real company. They basically don't make a lot of cars. The Zender Fact 4 might have been the only real car that they've made. They've made some prototypes, but the Zender Fact 4 was made by the company Zender to kind of prove their products. It was like a big giant product demonstration, basically. It was built as a demonstration vehicle by Zender. Built in 1989, well, released in 1989, showed up in the car shows in 1989. And if you're thinking it looks an awful lot like a Ferrari F40, yeah, you're right. It looks a lot like an F40. So this is the first edition, this silver one, and it's on the blue card, number 125, new model, and it even comes with 10 speed points. Yeah, I don't know what you gotta do with those speed points nowadays, but you know, maybe they'll buy them while the stock's low. So a little bit more about Zender. It's as I said, it's still around. They make automotive body parts. They basically do conversions for cars and make high-end cars do something else that they didn't originally do or add to them. They're effectively an automotive engineering company, and they've kind of gone up and down, almost gone out of business a few times, been bought, sold, back and forth, but they are still around. So let's get back to the Zender Fact 4, this particular car. The original car, the real car, had a carbon fiber body and had a lot of horsepower for its day, 450 horsepower, and it could go nearly 200 miles an hour. I have read that it could go 199 miles an hour, but I also read somewhere that it never really got any faster than 189 on the testing that they did. But remember, it's 1989, so that's pretty good. It's probably better known for the doors. It had scissor doors, so these don't open, obviously, but these doors would swing up. So they'd kind of swing up, and that's how you got in. And part of the reason that you see cars with that is that the doors are so large on these. These are just gigantic doors. They take up the whole side of the body, that if you were in a parking lot, you would never be able to get out of your car. That's one reason. The other reason has to do with the way that the car is molded and put together. But it also has a big back trunk area where the engine is. Engine compartment, I guess we'd call it, not a trunk. And this back door here swings upward, and it's about half the length of the car. So it's got, once it's got all of its doors and engine compartments open, it's a lot of pieces opening there. So let's talk about the Hot Wheels model. The Hot Wheels model, this is the first edition, like I mentioned. A little bit about this guy. This one has the Ultra Hot Wheels. There's two versions of this. The one without the tampo on the front, and it's a white tampo on silver, so it's hard to see. But see that Zender tampo there? The one without it is worth a little less. This one's worth more. And quite a bit more by Hot Wheels standards. This one in its package is worth about $5 or so. Kind of rare. Again, the one without the tampo is the more common one. take a look at some others here. Let me get my camera down. And we've got a whole family of Zenders here. Revealers, shiny metal paint. We got Zenders and more Zenders. There you go. So I've got about 5 or 6 more of these, but these are the ones that I thought were most interesting. And we'll kind of go through these real quick. Like I mentioned, the silver one you just saw was the first edition. The green and yellow one, this one, green and yellow and pink, this one's a revealer. And one of the reasons it has those crazy wheels, these were not, I don't think they were only on revealers, but it's really the only way I can tell the revealers from other cars when I'm digging through these bins that we get. But the revealers were a series of Hot Wheels cars that had, or were packaged in blind packs. So they were on cards like we're used to seeing, but then there was a blind package kind of stuffed in the card. So you couldn't tell, and you couldn't squish them or anything to figure out what car was there. Kind of like what we have now with the secret packaged cars, the blind packs. But the revealers were kind of neat because they would come maybe, and the reason they were blind packaged is if you got a little plastic Hot Wheels logo with it, then you won a prize. And if it was a blue plastic logo, you won a little 10-pack, which was a really cool 10-pack because it would have revealers written across the windshield on all these. Or you got yourself a bike if you got a gold plastic Hot Wheels logo. I wonder if you get those today, if they still give you a bike. But that one is a revealer. This one also came in purple and another color. It'll come to me. Was it black? I think purple and black. And the purple one was the hardest to find of the 3. So that one's a revealer. Next up was Hormel Chili, this guy. This one's a promotional one. And this one you sent away for, I think, I never really have been clear on where these promotional ones came from. It was a little bit before my collecting days. But it came in a baggie, like a see-through bag. You've seen them here on the show, and it would have Hot Wheels stamped on the outside of the bag. So it never was part of the main lines. And I don't know if the Hormel Chili ones were part of another promotion, but I know that for Hormel Chili, there's a Thunderstreak and a Gulch Stepper. There's a bright green Gulch Stepper that came with Hormel Chili, and then a red and white, I think it was, Thunderstreak. So, yeah, the Hormel Chili one. Promotion, not really worth anything. I think there was a lot of them. This guy's next. Come here, you. This little guy, 2007. Oh, by the way, the Hormel Chili one was from about 1995. This guy's from 2007. And he's from the Blast and Crash 5-pack, although I don't know why you would want to crash your Zender Fact for. They were not cheap, very expensive. I don't think it's something you'd want to blast and crash. But this one came in 3 wheel variations, and ironically enough, none of them are really worth anything. So all of them were fairly common. The blue one here, this one, which is probably my favorite Tampo of the group, of course, you guys that watch the show regularly know that I don't really do understated well, so that's far more my type of Tampo scheme there. This one's from 2004. Track Aces sub-series, part of the main lines. I really like that Hot Wheels racing team, though. Something on this you don't see very often, and I don't know if I can get a good shot, but see how the Hot Wheels is backwards because it has to be shown backwards here. Kind of cool. They try not to do that. That's why they put them on the hood. So next up, this guy, purple or black. This one was part of the Steel Stamp series. This is probably my least favorite Tampo of this one. It's kind of blah. Gold and black and pink isn't really my favorite. But the interesting thing was if this guy had clear windows and 5 spokes. Now there was, I think, a lace wheel version, maybe it was, and this one with the ultra hots. But if this one had 5 spokes and a clear windshield, it would be worth something. So something to keep in mind. Next up is this purple guy. He's the last one. And this one, this one's sparkly. There's a interesting thing on this. Can you see this? Let me see if I can focus. It may not show up on the video, but see that chip right there? I don't know if you can tell, but that's really thick paint. That's some thick paint on this thing. But this one with the purple flake, this was the 2nd edition, so this one came out after that steel one. Now, it might be, these were listed the same year, so these might have been in the same year, but I think this guy came after the silver one. And interesting though, this one has the silver ultra hots on it. Get a better shot of it here. That one has the silver ultra hots on it. If you ever see that one with gold ultra hots, you need to buy it because that one is worth a lot, and it is one of the more expensive mainline Hot Wheel variations out there. It can be worth upwards to $100 with gold wheels. Of course, now every customizer out there is going to be chopping this thing apart and putting gold wheels on it. By the way, I'm not sure I'd trust this with gold wheels if it's not authenticated. So collecting Hot Wheels, the customizers, me included, we can do anything with these guys. So that's a whole lot of Zenders. In fact, that may be right there more Zenders than they made in real life, all combined. So it's a fun car. For whatever reason, it's just kind of interest me because I didn't know if it was a real car, and it looked very Ferrari-like to me, and I just figured it was kind of a rip-off of a Ferrari, but a real car. Go figure. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Big news coming again with the website and some other contests and all the usual stuff, so keep watching, keep subbing, keep sharing, do all the things you do, and I'll see you in the next video.